So for that one, I will show you one. So in general, I will. So I don't put in a notes. Okay, I will show the PPT, but I will show so many pictures to see. But people are not reading anyone, so that's the problem. So this is guys. This is a laptop related heat sink. Normal heat sinks for a desktop. See, this is the processor. It is cased in a one lock. Okay, so then here it is heat sink paste is applied on that one heat sink and a heat sink fan like that, like this. Okay, but for laptop it is different. Okay, so it is like this. Okay, if you see, this is the point. Okay, this where processor, it touches the processor, it is on the processor. This copper and this heatsink paste absorb the heat and passes the heat through this fan assembly. This fan will run, right? So then automatically heat is going out. So it will getting cool here. Okay, that's why guys, the suggestion is the suggestion is so this is look good, brighter. So this is, you can see this grill and this fan. So your laptop having vents. Vent means the people, it is the airflow. Vent means it is a for airflow. So do not block the airflow. So do not put your laptop on beds, mainly on bed. Okay. The bed one is, oh, what happened? No problem. Okay. The bed one is, the cloth and all will close the heat, means the holes, the laptop holes that will be got covered. So what happened? Heat cannot be go outside. One. Second one, guys, the compared to your toilet seat and all, okay. So your bed having lot of dust. The dust, even if you are in a roadside, I don't know how much dust on the road, okay. So because it will be cleaned automatically by window, but where the dust goes, like on bed it is lot of dust is there. Okay, the dust will go inside your laptop. The dust will cover this entire this part. Okay, this is and this, the dust will close these vents, breathers, the different words we are using, breathers, vents, the fan. Okay, so that's because of this dust, it is not able to get cooled faster. Okay, now heat is not able to escape, then it is getting overheated. Because of this overheated, one is system restart itself, that is okay, one part. Second one is not like our desktop, guys. Desktop is little better. Laptop very closer surface, means lesser space inside. So what happened? The heat will distribute it to other components on the laptop. So it will affect on your Bluetooth, or maybe it is Wi-Fi modules, other components, batteries. Okay, heat. Battery will damage. When once battery is damaged, battery will get overheated and it damages your piece. Okay. So to maintain your laptop, mainly in a cooling system, guys, put it in a plain surface, like a table mates, on table, clean table. Okay. And do not put any paper also. Some people put a paper under the laptop. So don't put a paper. Paper is also not required. Put it in a very plainly. Don't put on a cloths or a papers or any leather surfaces also, don't put it. So put it your laptop, not in a lap also. Some people put their laptop on their laps. Okay, even I've seen some people put their laptop on their laps. That is very dangerous for both laptop and you also, because the heat is directly contacting your body, right? So that is very dangerous. And don't put your laptop on your bed also. That is another thing. Okay, so put it in a plain surface, guys. You don't require this heating, cooling pads with big fans, multiple fans, not required, because you cannot, if you pump air to your, okay, um, okay. So see it is a much closer, means this is a entirely a blockage is there. This is not required. If you put it is okay, no problem for me. But my point is it is not much required. Okay, so you can better give a frame kind of stuff, means like this. Simple frames, empty frames. Okay, not even this one also. Even you don't require a fan, just you need a simple empty frame, or it's a kind of egg trace, also good. Simple, the gap is required to your laptop, both under and sides also. Four sides of your laptop need a space, at least 1 or 2 inches of space is required. Under the laptop, it is better to have at least half or less than half also, okay, no problem. Quarter-inch or a half-inch space under the laptop, that is good. So do not cover your laptop with like this. So give at least a quarter-inch gap is enough. You don't require much fan assembly. Okay, and use your laptop where the less heat is there, or cool places. And I'm not saying you have to put it in a AC. You don't ask your mom and dad, I want an AC. Okay, I'm studying now, I'm watching something, right? Okay, so don't go to that part. Okay, so better to keep in where the cool location is there, and don't put in bathroom. That is wet location. Cool is different, wet is different. Okay, so that is the maintenance of your laptop. Okay, that's the part. So next one is, guys, RAM and ROM. First one is, we will discuss what is the primary memories, secondary memories. No, no, no. Our primary memory, guys, in memories, different types are there. Primary and secondary memory. Primary memories are RAM and ROM. Primary memories are RAM and ROM. What is the difference between RAM and ROM, and where we see? RAM is a random access memory. RAM is a random access memory. Whereas a ROM is a read-only memory. ROM is a read-only. RAM is a random access memory. ROM read-only memory. RAM is a temporary memory. The data stores in the RAM is temporarily. Whereas ROM is a permanent memory. Whereas ROM is permanent memory. RAM is a volatile memory. Volatile means when power is off, data in the device is gone. Data in the device is gone when no power supply is there. So that is called a volatile memory. ROM is a non-volatile memory. Non-volatile means whenever you power off system, even you power off the device or you disconnect the device, still data will be remains in the device. What it is? Whenever what are the data? Okay. Data in the device is always remains in the device only. It is never go off with your power supply. So examples of non-volatile memory, different non-volatile memories are there, SSDs, pen drives, SD cards, hard disks, these are all non-volatile memories only. Okay, but important, very important, of course, these are the main differences, guys, these 4 points. Okay, random access memory, read-only memory, temporary memory, RAM is a temporary memory, ROM is a permanent memory. RAM is a volatile memory, ROM is a non-volatile memory. Sizer class. One second. Hello? Hello? Sorry guys. Okay. Here it is, guys. These are the main things about your RAM and ROM. In generally in our computers, because RAM and ROMs also we use in different places. Okay, in a different boards, different place things. But here, as for our computer, okay, RAM is generally we can insert a RAM. So you can see motherboard, RAM kind of stuff. You can see like this. We can insert a RAM. We can remove the RAM. These are the RAM slots. We can insert a RAM. We can remove the RAM. We can add RAMs. Even for a laptop also, we can go to laptop. These are the RAM slots. See, we can insert a RAM, we can remove the RAM. But coming to the ROM, ROM means BIOS, not BIOS settings. BIOS is our ROM chip. It is directly on motherboard. Okay, like this. This is a ROM chip, like a BIOS chips, BIOS chip, BIOS. It directly on motherboard. Not like a RAM, we cannot able to remove or replace your BIOS chip. Okay. This is BIOS battery. Okay. So my point is, guys, the ROM is nothing but our BIOS. The BIOS is we cannot able to replace, right? We don't remove it. Of course, few are we can able to replace, like this one, we can able to remove and reinsert it, but still it is not the point, because of RAM is we can go to market, you buy a RAM and you can insert a new RAM, or you want to replace the RAM, you will remove the old RAM and you will insert the new RAM. Okay, so that we can do very easily. ROM chips or a BIOS chips are directly on motherboard, and like you can go and market buy a one ROM chip and insert it, that is won't happen. Okay, that's different category. If you have got a problem, motherboard related issues, if you got a motherboard related issues, then compulsory the ROM chip is having problem, then only the chip level repairing person will can able to remove it and reinsert the new one, or maybe they change some program inside, like that. Except that one, so we don't change any ROM. So ROM in generally we don't talk in the terms of size, ROM chip size wise we don't. So RAM we talk in the size wise, like a 2 GB RAM, 4 GB RAM, 8 GB RAM, 16 GB RAM is there. But ROM chip, whether ROM chip is there or not, that's it. We don't discuss, like we don't upgrade ROM size kind of stuff. Okay, that's the point. Better big ROM is good, that kind of stuff is also not there. So guys, primary memories are RAM and ROM, random access memory, read-only memory. Okay, so temporary, permanent memories. Okay, RAM is a volatile, ROM is a non-volatile memory. Volatile means when power is off, data is gone. Guys, understand up to here RAM and ROM differences? Random access memory, also called as a main memory. So RAM and ROM primary memories, but RAM is also called as main memory. Okay, RAM is also called as main memory. It is a primary storage for our CPU. Guys, what are the data, how many hard disks, how many SSDs you are having, you don't give data to processor directly. All instructions and data has to go through your RAM to processor only. It stores data temporarily, that is also within. It stores both data and instructions, of course. It is a volatile memory. Guys, in a RAMs, two type of RAMs are there. One is static RAM, another one is dynamic RAM. This static RAM, also called as SRAM, dynamic RAM, we calling it as a DRAM. This static RAM is nothing but a cache memory which is built inside of CPU. Dynamic RAM is different. Dynamic RAMs are there. One of the dynamic RAM is SDRAM, ECC RAM, EDO RAM, VRAM, like that. Different type of RAMs are there. Just given only few names. So dynamic RAM is another name for a means next level of dynamic RAM, means next level of DRAM is synchronous dynamic RAM. Okay, what we are using, that's what I'm trying to say. Our RAM is DRAM. SRAMs we use, which is built inside of CPU, that is called cache memory, that is SRAM. But what we are using is DRAMs only. Okay, so the DRAM is developed as a SDRAM, means synchronous dynamic RAM. This synchronous dynamic RAM further developed after next few years, then it is further developed as a DDR, DDR, double data rate, double data rate. What is double data rate? Yes, of course, that the name is double data rate, synchronous dynamic RAM. And next after that one as DDR-SDRAM. So we got a DDR2, DDR3, DDR4, DDR5 RAMs are there. DDR5 is also released into the market, but currently DDR4, DDR5 RAMs are in the market. Okay, DDR2, DDR3 are very less available in market, but DDR4, DDR5 both are available in the market. Okay, so this is the RAM history, RAM information. Not completed, guys. I never complete anything that much easy. So every RAM having a certain specification. Like so when you go to buy, when I said when you are going to buy a CPU, what are the things you have to check it? For your CPU, what we are checking, that is also you have to check for your RAM also. What is the RAM specific things you have to check it? First of all, size. So what is the size of your RAM? What is the size of your RAM? Okay, so 2 GB RAM, 3 GB RAM, 12 GB RAM, 16 GB RAM, 32 GB length. Next one, every RAM has a clock speed. Every RAM has a clock speed. Based on that, we will buy, right? So when we are checking about a processor, then it is telling the memory DDR4 3200 megahertz or DDR5 4800 megahertz. So that is telling RAM clock speed. Okay, and every RAM having model DDR4 model, DDR3 model, DDR5 model, like that different RAM models we are using. Okay, guys, remember one RAM is not one model of RAM not compatible with the other model of RAM because it depends upon your motherboard and processor. RAMs are also having a voltage level, low voltage, high voltage levels are there. So that is also important to check about a RAM. If you want to know about my RAM, so then you can very simple processor memory. So mine is 12 GB RAM and DDR3, okay, and it is 1600 megahertz RAM. It is a SODIMM, means small outline dual inline memory module, means okay. It is a laptop, right? So SODIMM because it's a laptop. Next, 2 of 2 means there is a 2 slots are there to insert a RAM. Now both RAMs are full, means one RAM is 4 GB, another RAM is 8 GB, 4 plus 8, now I got a 12 GB RAM. Okay. To upgrade or replace of a RAM, I want to upgrade my RAM. So my RAM is 4 GB. I want to add 8 GB. Then it become 12 GB. Then what I have to do? Is it my CPU is supporting it or not? CPU supporting the type of RAM or not? That is important. The DDR3 support is there. How much RAM support is the 16 GB support or 32 GB support or 128 GB support? Like a CPU wise, you have to check it. Next one is motherboard wise, you have to check it. How many slots of RAMs are there? RAM slots are there. How many what type of RAM it will support? Okay, each slot is dedicated for what type of RAM. DDR4 supporting RAM slot not support DDR5 or DDR3. So for example, my laptop DDR3. I remove my DDR3 RAM and try to insert a DDR4. The slot not supporting. Okay, guys. So on motherboard, what is the RAM slots are there? Okay, what type of how many RAM slots are there? What type of RAM it will support? And CPU, how much size of RAM, total size of RAM supporting is there? Speed of RAM supporting is there? Both you have to check it. And voltage level also check it. Easiest way is better to check with your old RAM, existing RAM or old RAM. If you are already having one RAM, so check with the RAM. So buy the similar RAM type only. So why? Because of already working one. Now it is not working, or maybe now you want to upgrade or replace. But old RAM also will tell you the certain properties, like a type of RAM it is and voltage levels it will tell. So it is, we can easily matches with the old RAM. So find out what is your old RAM or existing RAM. Okay, so that properties easily matches with a new one or additional one. Okay guys, this is about your some points in a RAM. Okay, so RAMs are in a different packages. Single inline memory module, dual inline memory module. Okay, like that. This is the whole information. I'm not giving all information. I'm giving you only two information. Now, if you want, you can keep it like that. No problem. How many people are really reading? Guys, this is important. SODIMM package. SODIMM. SODIMM. Small outline, dual inline memory module. DIMM. Dual inline memory module. DIMM packages usually for desktop. SODIMM packages generally for laptops and mini PCs. Mini PCs. Okay. These 2 points important. And each RAM having a different pin configurations. Some pin like some are having 240 pins, some are having a 184 pin notch differences also there. Already told about SRAM guys. SRAM is used as a cache memory. The SRAM is a static RAM. This is used as a cache memory which is built inside of your processor. So it will process, it speed up your data transmission from your RAM to processor. Dynamic RAMs cannot match that speed. Okay, the processor is actually very high speed, but your DRAMs are not that much speed. A typical RAM called a cache is used. The cache is store instructions data which CPU is currently working or may need soon. So that is like that. Okay. This diagram I draw here, so I cannot able to. But I didn't put any RAM pictures here. RAM, DIMM, coding. This is useful, right? This is how RAM is inserting. That is the point. Okay. So this diagram I will draw once again to make you understand this is cache memory and how it is works. But it's not a good idea, but still I am trying to do it. It will take time for drawing. Guys, this is our processor. Think like it is a our processor, CPU. Okay, so our CPU. CPU contains ALU, means arithmetical logical control, and CU, arithmetic and logical unit, and CU means control unit. Okay, this is our CPU. And we have a devices, right? So different devices are there. For example, I have a keyboard. Okay. Not all our keyboards. It's like, for example, I have a monitor. Monitor is output device, right? Like that, one by one. So any device you can take anything. It can be audio chip or SSD, hard disk. It can be a storage. Okay. It can be anything, any device. You can see it can be a mouse, anything. Okay. So what it will do? So it will load instructions to a IO controller. This is not a good at all diagram because space is not enough here. Okay, so data will be to and fro from input output devices, right? To given in to output to given input, like that it will be there. For example, IO controller give output on the monitor. Keyboard will give input to the system, right? So that's the point here. This is the IO card. Okay. So mouse give input. So hard disk will both the side, means both input output kind of stuff. Okay. Next one is what this IO controller will do. It will understand which device, what data. Okay. What is the data? What is the device? It is their addresses to understand. And what it will do, it give information to RAM. And it take information, means instructions and data, to IO controller. It will give it to RAM. Now RAM, what it is doing, RAM load these things into the cache memory. The cache memory actually, which is built inside of this CPU only. Okay. Of course, the cache memory having a multiple levels, L1, L2, L3. Three cache levels are there. L1 cache, L2 cache, L3 cache. The L1 cache is near to CPU, then L2, then L3 is there. What our CPU is doing, so this is our RAM, whenever it is, the instructions will be loaded to cache. Cache load instructions and data to your CPU. CPU, once it is processed, is done, so one that will be loaded into your cache. The cache will give information, means data into your RAM. RAM give it to IO, IO will give send the data to the respective devices. Okay. Okay. This cache levels are there. L1 cache, L2 cache, L3 cache kind of stuff. Okay. So in general in cache there is a instruction cache and a data cache. Each cache has having their size also there. This is the cache part. But one small thing I want to add here, okay, that is So to manage the communication between this CPU and RAM, we use a bridge called a north bridge. North bridge. What happened? Okay. To manage the communication between RAM and peripherals, means RAM and these peripherals. Okay, so that is taken by south bridge. Okay, north bridge and south bridge. Now both are become same bridges. Okay, north and south become single chip. Okay, north bridge is a chip, south bridge is a chip. Now both are mixed into one chip only. Okay, but north bridge generally north bridge duty is to manage the communication between CPU and RAM. Okay, and south bridge is to manage the communication between RAM and IO controller and IO devices. So this is the original diagram. So what we are I'm trying to tell. This is colorful, that is no colors inside. So like I use some empty one because of lot of input output device input output are there. Okay, we can do it. So this is about your RAM, guys. So are you okay with up to now RAM?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
RAM related issues also there. So when RAM is failed, what kind of stuff. But I will tell that this thing in a boot processing troubleshooting. Now we'll go to the ROM. We'll finish ROM and boot, not boot, BIOS settings. Then we'll see other kind of stuff also. So we'll try to finish some part. Then tomorrow we can do remaining things. Next one is ROM. So what is ROM? Read-only memory. Read-only memory. So we already discussed RAM and ROM differences. So this is the read-only memory. Generally, guys, the read-only memory is a permanent memory. So whenever the manufacturer build a ROM, they put everything into this ROM chip only. Okay, everything means what are the instructions and data required. Okay, so that will be built, the entire program will be built inside this ROM chip only. Okay, so that is a ROM, but some are you have to program, like not a manufacturer. You want a ROM and you want to put a program inside. So manufacturer a empty chip. So you can buy a empty ROM chip and we can program it. So you can put a program inside. That is called a PROM chip, programmable read-only memory. Okay. So, but it is cannot be erased, cannot be rewritten. Think like this. You have a chip. Of course, directly I'm telling you, you have a chip. You can insert a program, but only once. Once you are inserted, you cannot able to change it. You know, CD-ROMs are there. Earlier, we have a CD-ROMs, DVDs. You know, once you put a data, then you cannot change it. You cannot erase it, or you cannot able to add anything in it. So once it is done, that's why it is called a CD-ROM, DVD-ROM, CD-ROM kind of stuff. Okay, so that is the programmable read-only memory. Erasable programmable read-only memory means this is a chip, so you can program it once. Okay, if you think if you do no longer required, the program is no longer required in the chip, you can erase it, but you cannot put a new program in it. Electrically erasable programmable read-only memory. This is another upgradation of this ROM chip, guys. These EPROM type of chips, you can program it, you can erase it, you can reprogram it. Okay, so multiple times you can do it. So that's it. EPROM is a rewritable type. We are using this EPROM chips only. Okay, not a ROM chips because it's inside some program. Okay, next one is BIOS. What is this BIOS? In a ROM chip, we have a program, right? Why we need a ROM chip? To program it. Okay, to store some instructions and data in the ROM chip. It is a primary memory device to store some instructions and data inside. So okay, so in a ROM chip, we put a program called a BIOS. BIOS. Okay, ROM is storing some instructions and data, and of course, what is that instruction data? Nothing but a program or a firmware. So that is called a BIOS. That is called a BIOS. What is BIOS? Basic input output system. What is use of this BIOS? BIOS will help you to boot your system. Okay, BIOS will help to boot your system. The BIOS chip is directly on your motherboard. So your motherboard details are stored in your BIOS chip permanently. Okay, you have a motherboard. On motherboards, different components. Okay, those component details by default it is stores in your BIOS chip. Okay, BIOS chip means your ROM chip. Your BIOS is nothing but a program, which is nothing but a firmware. What is the use of this BIOS chip? When you are power on your system, this BIOS will help you to boot up your PC. Okay, next. This is motherboard, okay, right? So when your system is started, when your system is power on, the BIOS chip will recognize hardware components. Okay, connected. What are the hardware components you are connected? Okay. So see guys, this is CPU, this is RAM, this is a SMPS ATX connector. Okay, SMPS connection for a CD-RAM for a hard disk. I'm connecting. This is a front panel connector. USB connectors also there. Monitor connections also there. GPU graphic card if you are inserting graphic card. For example, you put a LAN card or Ethernet card. Okay, this is a CMOS battery. Guys, when you power on your system, BIOS already having a details of the motherboard, and now it recognizes the devices. What is the CPU? What type of CPU it is? What type of RAM it is? What is that RAM? How many RAMs are there? Okay, what type of RAM it is? RAM is working or not? What type of GPU it is? What is this hard disk? What is CD-RAM? So this BIOS will recognize the hardware devices. Okay, it recognize the hardware devices, and your BIOS also will tell where is the operating system. Okay, where is operating system, from where you should get a operating system. Okay, from where you should load operating system, from CD-RAM or from hard disk or from pen drive or from network, right? The BIOS will tell you from where you should search for an operating system. The boot priority it will tell. And also it will help you to load operating system. It helps operating system to access hardware devices. So this is what BIOS will doing. Guys, again, what is BIOS? Basic input output system. BIOS is nothing but a firmware or firmware. What is this firmware or firmware? Which is useful to boot your system. Means you power on your system, system is turned on. So because of this firmware will help you to boot it. So one by one step, like the BIOS chip, that means your ROM chip contains information of your motherboard, and your BIOS program means your firmware will try to recognize the connected hardware devices like a CPU, RAM, hard disk, CD-RAM, graphics card, network Ethernet card, like that. What are the connected devices to motherboard? Next one is it locate a operating system. So BIOS will tell you so where to how to search an operating system, boot priority, how to load operating system, okay, how to find so where to find an operating system and is a priority wise and as well as it will help you to load operating system. It helps the operating system to how to access this hardware devices. Guys, UEFI, Unified Extensible Firmware Interface, it's a new version of BIOS. New version of BIOS. Yeah, this is different. Yeah, let's just remove this one so you can easily understand. Guys, this BIOS chip is manufactured by different organizations. Okay, AMI BIOS, Advert BIOS, Phonics BIOS, different BIOS are manufacturers are there. So see, this is a AMI BIOS. This is AMI BIOS. Okay, that is a AMI BIOS, American Megatrend Inc. So I have written about a firmware. Firmware is actually low-level control of your hardware devices. So hardware-wise program it is. Okay. So what is your BIOS will do? It recognize the devices. What is the first point I didn't told you, right? So it is during boot up, it perform post, means power on self-test. When you power on your system, this BIOS will help you to check the devices are connected or anything problem is there like that. It will use it to test when system is power on. Guys, this is the boot processing. This boot processing, these steps are belongs to boot processing. Okay, so when your system is turned on, like you power on your PC, your laptop or desktop, you power on your PC, and after some time, means after 2 minutes or 5 minutes, you got a screen. Finally, you can able to start using your system. Okay, from your power on to you can start using your system. What are the step-by-step things that happens in your system? In your system, that is called a boot processing. You power on your system, from that one step-by-step process is going on till you got your screen, that is called a boot process. Of course, the first step is post, power on self-test. Power on self-test. Actually, I don't tell this one in middle, but better to complete this one, okay? So power on self-test. So when you power on your system will when you power on your system, the power is distributed to all components in the computer. Power is distributed to all computers, all components in the computer. So automatically your BIOS chip is also getting, your ROM chip is also get a power. So it will try to recognize the devices and also it verify devices working on that. Okay, so the primary devices like a CPU, RAM, like devices and on motherboard devices directly connected to motherboard. Okay, CPU, RAM kind of devices, graphics related devices. Okay, so So primary devices, if it is not working, okay, if it is not working, like CPU is not working, a RAM is not working, a RAM is not recognized, what BIOS will do? It will tell boot failure, it throw error, okay, not direct error. I will explain that error part also later, but simple to understand. So it will try to check all the major components working on that. So guys, again, when you power on your system means when you press the power button, power is distributed to all components, motherboard connected components, hard disk, CD-RAM, like that every component got a power supply. Okay, so your BIOS chip will recognize these devices and verify everything is working. Make sure it is working. So then it is once your this process we call it power on self test. What is power on self test? When you power on your system test itself. System test itself. All the components are working or not. Okay, is it self test? System test itself. So we now just we can put a there BIOS or not, that is okay. If you don't, no problem. Okay, system test itself. When system is power on, system is test itself. Make sure that all hardware components connected and working. That is power on self test. Once power on self test is completed, guys, so then next one is the BIOS will tell you how to locate a operating system. So the BIOS will tell where is the MBR record, find how to find where to find by MBR record. The MBR record will tell you how to MBR will tell you how to load operating system. MBR record will tell you how to find a bootloader. Bootloader will tell you how to load operating system. Okay. So when we are going like this, guys, there is a MBR. What is MBR? Master boot record. What is master boot record? So that's the point, right? That's why usually when I am telling about a BIOS, generally people will tell boot processing. I don't tell because of I want to complete all the components first, then boot processing. Okay. So when we are learning this boot processing, so you should not get a doubt, and also troubleshooting at boot processing time. Okay, so at booting time issues to understand also it is important to know the components. So just I'm telling because already I started. So again I will explain, no problems if I get a chance. Okay, so what is step 2? Find a MBR record. So what is the MBR record? This is master boot record. In master boot record, it contains information about a disk partitions, boot related informations like where is a bootloader. Bootloader is a file which loads into your RAM, and the bootloader will tell you how to load operating system. Where is your operating system and how to load operating system. Okay, to boot your system, bootloader is important. Okay, so first of all load a bootloader. And once OS is loaded, you got a login screen, log into your system, backend services, applications will start. Then you can start working with your laptop. So this is a mainly first point. You power on your system. You press the power button. First step is power on self-test. Next step is find a MBR record. Next step is MBR record will tell you from MBR record you got a bootloader. The bootloader will tell you how to load operating system and where is operating system and how to load operating system. Once OS is loaded, then you got a login screen, log into the system. Once you log in, so backend startup services and applications will start. This is a boot processing, guys, very simple way. Okay, so compulsory if you don't, now I told normally, but if in case better to search different ways of explanation of boot processing, which one is more easy for you? So practice like that. But I'm going to different thing, guys. This is the BIOS and this is BIOS settings. Okay, what is the BIOS settings? BIOS settings is a um, simply say BIOS setting is information about your hardware. Okay, BIOS setting contains information about your hardware, managing hardware components and features. Hardware components and features. That is the BIOS setting. See, this is one of the BIOS setting page, guys. You can see system date and time. You can fix the system date and time from BIOS. Okay, you can see your system configuration. You can see your system configuration from here. Okay, so what is the CPU type? It is i7-4500U model, 1.8 gigahertz processor it is. Okay, and L3 cache is 4 MB L3 cache, fixed as hard disk, 1 terabyte fixed hard disk, and there is a DVD is also there for this laptop, for this machine. And total memory, the RAM is 8 GB RAM, 1600 megahertz, means it is a 3 DDR3 model. See, I got a system configuration from my boot BIOS settings. This is enabling, disabling certain hardware features. For example, this screen is showing Intel virtualization technology enabled. So generally, nowadays, most of the systems, CPUs, built-in feature is CPU virtualization technology, and already it is enabled, but some system it is not enabled. What to do? Go to BIOS settings, search for virtualization technology, change from disable to enable. Okay, so what is this kind of stuff, guys? It is okay. So we can change BIOS means hardware related features and settings. We can set a password to your BIOS, because of if someone is trying to change your hardware settings. Okay, so then to protect, we can put a password. So for a user password and supervisory password also. Next one is boot priority. This is a boot priority. I put a boot priority up. Okay. So why? Because to explain this boot processing. Okay. What is this boot priority, guys? When you power on your system, already I told you, when you power on your system, post is happened, right? Power on self test. Once power on self test completed, next step is MBR record. So where is this MBR record is how system will find MBR record. So based on the boot priority, first it will check in your CD-ROM and search for a operating system or a bootloader. Next one, it will verify from removable devices like a pen drive. Next, hard disk. Next, network boot. Through network, any operating system is available. Bootable files are available. Okay, like a priority it is. If you change a priority, based on the priority, system will try to find where is the operating system. For example, generally our OS in hard disk. So when you power on your system, once post is completed, so first it will verify as per this list, guys. I'm telling as per this list. The list can be interchangeable. List can be changeable up and down. We can possible. First it will verify data from. First it will verify OS is there in a CD-ROM or not. Then it will verify from removable device. Then it is hard disk. Now it find a OS in the hard disk. It load OS from the hard disk. Very simple. It will boot from the hard disk. CD-ROM does not contain anything. For example, I insert a USB pen drive. Okay, means yeah, pen drive I inserted with the operating system. Operating system contain pen drive. I insert it into system. I turn on my system. Then and hard disk contains operating system. Pen drive also contains operating system. Now I turn on my PC. for it load OS from my pen drive because of removable device is above the hard disk drive. That's the point. So what is the boot part? It is boot priority. So boot priority, it is given priority wise will be search. Okay, first it will search in first one, second one, third one, fourth one. When it is find an operating system, then it won't search next step. It immediately start loading OS from there. Guys, these are the BIOS settings just for information only. To go to BIOS setting, guys, different ways you can go to BIOS settings. How to go to BIOS settings? Okay, so how to go to BIOS settings? When you start your PC, means turn on mode. When you press the power button, you have to press the del key, BIOS key. Not only del key, it can be anything. You can see it's a machine. So when power on, so it is showing F2 to setup, F12 to boot menu. You press F2, then it is setup. You press the F2, it is setup. Then you will go to BIOS settings, and what are the settings you want to change or you want to see, and for troubleshooting purpose or maybe for some management purpose, you can do it. Okay, some machines F2, mostly nowadays F2 only, or F12, F2 or F12, and some are different keys are there. So these are BIOS keys. When your system is started or restarting time, at start time only, means power on time or maybe restarting. So whatever it is, at start time, you have to press the BIOS key to enter into BIOS settings. To know the BIOS keys, one option is, so when you start your PC, automatically shows. Second one is find out from Google based on your manufacturers. Okay, so what is the BIOS part? Next one is important one is randomly. So generally, so delete key is there, or a F2 or a F12, so F11 like that kind of stuff is there. Sometimes it is required to press function key plus your BIOS key, depends upon your laptop. Of course, the BIOS settings, you can see the date and time, you can set passwords, you can enable and disable the hardware features, example virtualization technologies, you can change boot priorities. Once you are completed, you can save and exit. Okay, that is important. And also you can check the system configuration, like about your CD-RAM and hard disk, your RAM and processor information also you can get it. So guys, this is about your BIOS settings. Okay, pictures are available here, so that's simple. So only one picture I am giving to just for our understanding. That is enough. The last one in this BIOS, guys, that is your CMOS battery. Okay. First one is your BIOS chip contains information, right? The BIOS chip contains information of your motherboard and it learn hardware information also, right? BIOS stores a temporary data. What it is? The date and time. Sorry. First, BIOS contains information about your motherboard and recognize hardware information which is connected, like a CPU information it recognize, and it recognize the RAM, hard disk, CD-RAM, like that. What are the hardware devices connected, it will recognize and store into the BIOS. And there is a certain information is completely temporary, guys. So date and time, BIOS passwords, BIOS settings or configurations means enabling, disabling of BIOS kind of stuff is enabling, disabling of a BIOS is okay. Okay, enabling, disabling of BIOS settings is also temporary. So what happens when you turn off your PC? Okay, when you turn off your PC, your BIOS data is lost. This data is lost. To keep your data, we use to keep the data in the BIOS chip, like to run your date and time continuously, to keep your BIOS password in the chip, to not to okay, to not to revert the BIOS settings. So what we have done, we need a use of BIOS battery. What is this BIOS battery? BIOS battery continuously give a power supply to your BIOS chip. So this is the BIOS battery. It give a power supply continuously to your BIOS chip. This is the battery. It is a lithium 3 volts battery, guys. This will give continuous power supply to BIOS battery. So what is the advantage, guys? So your BIOS chip is getting power supply. Your temporary data is continuously be available, and date and time runs continuously. Your BIOS passwords will be like that only. It won't be removed, and your BIOS settings still available. This BIOS battery is made by lithium. It is a lithium 3 volts battery. If you remove the battery, the BIOS setting goes to factory default. Guys, again remember an important thing. So the BIOS battery is giving a power supply to BIOS battery, giving a continuous power supply to your BIOS chip. That's it. Okay. What is this BIOS battery? We call it as a CMOS battery. CMOS means complementary metal oxide semiconductor. What it is? Complementary metal oxide semiconductor. It is a chip manufacturing technology. Guys, CMOS is not battery. Remember, CMOS battery is not battery. So CMOS battery is a battery, but CMOS is not battery. CMOS is a complementary metal oxide semiconductor. Is a semiconductor technology used in the most of the today's integrated circuits. It is a chip technology. To manufacturing chips, we use CMOS technology, also known as a chip array microchips. CMOS is a transistor. CMOS are a transistor, okay, are based on the metal oxide semiconductor field effective transistor. Actually, CMOS is like we should not tell this much, but I'm telling there is a NMOS plus PMOS. Okay, is nothing but our CMOS. Okay, it is a combination of NMOS and CMOS. NMOS and CMOS, it is, sorry, NMOS and PMOS, it is a CMOS technology. Complementary metal oxide semiconductor field effective transistor. Yes, again, CMOS is a chip manufacturing technology. It is not a battery. Battery is lithium battery. CMOS battery, we call this one as a CMOS battery because of it providing power supply to our BIOS chip. What happened? CMOS battery gives power supply to our BIOS chip. Okay, that's why we are calling it as a CMOS battery, because of the BIOS chip is manufactured by the BIOS chip is manufactured the CMOS technology. Okay, it's a lithium 3 volts battery. It is lithium 3 volts battery. Guys, when you turn off your computer, power is not there. So that certain temporary data, the data means date and time and BIOS passwords, BIOS settings will be lost. It go to factory default settings. To prevent it from that lost, we are using a battery, lithium battery, 3 volts lithium battery. That battery we call it as a CMOS battery. But CMOS is not a battery technology, it is a chip manufacturing technologies. Okay, please remember like that. Don't go to blind notes. Okay, and keep telling 3-4 times just to get rid of certain things. Things means people learn few things good way, but mostly worst way. Means lot of wrong information given in since this college, school, institutions, okay, like that. Guys, this is a CMOS checksum error. Okay, CMOS checksum error. Meaning is the CMOS battery not enough power. So then you are getting this continuously. Okay, good question. Okay, so this is CMOS checksum means you have to change your battery. Which battery? CMOS battery, change battery. That is easy, right? CMOS battery. That's enough for a year. BIOS kind of stuff, guys. So tomorrow we'll start with the motherboard. Actually, I can tell about motherboard and SMPS. So then it is easily finished. So tomorrow we can freshly start with the hard disk. Okay, so I will tell continuously motherboard because I need a 10-15 minutes to complete motherboard. Okay, just for one question is there. Do we have to learn BIOS configuration for an interview? I don't know why it is question because not for hurting you guys. Important is learn is important. Guys, we are giving training not for your interview. Interview is your interview, not my interview. And also we are giving some information while we are teaching. This is the important point. Completely at least 2-3 times you have to go through it to give an answer at interview. Okay. We are giving training to learn something which is you have a barrier between your graduation qualification to the work related. Okay, so this is basic knowledge we are teaching. Okay. Not all your doubt, okay, because don't think that is your doubt. Okay, a lot of people are having the same doubt. Not only this doubt, okay, because when we are starting from day on one onwards, so it's look like a training is look like a interview training. No guys, it is not interview training. So that's a small basic information. Lot of people don't know. That's why we are giving these details. Okay. Next important for your interview, I am telling because today morning also received one call. So that's why I am telling you based on that one. Guys, every day we are telling what are the some questions, what questions, possible questions we are getting. Also, we are trying to share the questions. Still, people ignoring what are we speak. The last day they will ask like, yes, sir, what questions you will get it. And second one is, okay, the second point I want to take is, yes, practice. From day one onwards, we are telling whatever the questions, whatever they will ask, we'll see that one, right? They will ask, right? So don't worry now. Important is practice every day. If you ignoring the practicing every day, the day comes, again you will get a good question, big question. Okay, big question. Okay, so put some time, half an hour time, 1 hour time. Okay, or maybe one meeting with your batchmates. Put a meeting and discuss in English. Better is English, not Hindi, guys. You people still, lot of people still stick into that Hindi part only because Hindi is a good language. Your language, my language, my language. I'm not going with that one because the mind intention will changes if you speak in English in general pay, in general time, your mental intention will be changes. It's towards speak some English words at intervals. Mind don't give confusion. What will happen when officially or maybe in a classroom we speak English, when we go outside with friends, also with general discussion. So that is also the intention point. I'm not trying like that. Okay. Even I don't have a choice now because I'm in Hyderabad. Outside I have to speak only Telugu. Okay, I cannot speak. I'm speaking to you myself. Okay, in English. So practice is important, guys. Keep it everything aside. Daily practice. Take any question wise, any topic as a question wise. Take it as a question wise. Find out the differences. Think, practice. Notes, questions and answers. Of course, we can give, but thing is, you have to practice. Otherwise, it's a waste of our time and your time. Okay, that's the point. Okay. Yeah, I will tell two more things, guys. One is motherboard, another one is SMPS. Then we'll close it. So, what is the motherboard? Okay. What is the motherboard? It is nothing but a circuit board. Everything is connected to motherboard only, either directly or indirectly. Okay. On board chips are there. Okay, like your CPU, RAM. Okay, are connected to your motherboard directly. SSDs also connected to your motherboard directly. Hard disk, CD-ROMs connected to your motherboard, which is internally. Okay, see this? CPU is connected, RAM is connected, graphics are connected to your motherboard directly. Hard disk, CD-ROM, these are connected to your motherboard through data cable. And outside of your motherboard, even you put a keyboard, the keyboard is connected to your motherboard based on the back panel connectivity. Okay, so you are connecting your monitor. The monitor is also connected to your motherboard, but which is outside, but still it is connected to motherboard. Means all CPU components are connected to your motherboard directly. All CPU components are connected to web system directly. So every motherboard having different slots or sockets for different components connectivity purpose, like a CPU, okay, CPU sockets, memory slots, processor slots, processor sockets, expansion slots, means PCI or a PCIe slots, okay, IO ports, PS/2 ports kind of stuff, chipsets are there, okay, SATA or IDE connectors, floppy disk drives connectors, CMOS battery, okay, and power supply connectors, heat sinks, front panel connectors. So different type of connectivities and components on your motherboard. Okay, this is a sample motherboard, older motherboard it is, but just for a sample, I'm giving here. Okay, and so you can see here it is different memory modules already we have seen. So this is the back panel. So olden days we have a back panel. Back panel connectivity. Okay, so just for knowing what it is, and your back panel connectors names. Of course, this much is not required for you, but knowing names is important at least to know, because I've seen a lot of people not even a basic knowledge. Okay, so better to know about it. It is a PS/2. Use it to connect keyboard and mouse and USB type. So now we are using for everything USB cable, universal serial bus. VGA, it is used to connect your monitors, LCD, what we can say, your projectors also you can able to connect. COM port is a communication port, is a serial port. Not much importance is not there, but still it is okay, good. So this is the how PS/2 is there, like this. Actually, that's why I never you put things into your notes for hardware and operating system also. This much small things also you have to add it. So next one is VGA port. This is VGA port. Okay, it is a VGA port. Serial port is not much because serial port is there, parallel port is there. Nowadays, people are not getting this serial port. People are getting the EMI port for monitor and more maximum USB ports. LAN port you know already. This is how the LAN port is look like. and new version, it is HDMI ports are most common. Okay, also connect monitor, TV, right, projectors, display, and sound also we are getting sound with the HDMI port. Only port is not there, no problem. This is a good one. This is another back panel. So this is a nowadays back panel. So you can recognize. Next one, guys, SMPS, switch mode power supply. What is the use of SMPS? SMPS is your main power supply. Your main power supply is 220 volts. Okay, 220 volts, 50 hertz frequency. The main power supply is 220 volts, 50 hertz frequency. Your electronic devices required a DC power supply, not AC supply. So main power supply is a AC power supply and we need a DC power supply. So what we have to do? We need a SMPS. SMPS will convert AC to DC and it will having a two type of SMPS, generally AT and ATX. Okay, ATX we are using now, that is 24 pin. Nowadays we are using this ATX 24 pin connector plus this additional pin connectors we are using. Okay. Okay. So this type of connectors we are using different things. This is a CPU 4+4. Earlier days CPU 4. Now it is 4+4 or 4+2, like a 6-pin connector is there. This is a direct go to motherboard 24 pin. SATA type of hard disk or CD-RAM, this type of power connection. So this is the Molex connector. Okay, use it to connect other part2 type of hard disk. So this is another picture for how devices are connecting. It's a clear picture, but I am making very smaller. Okay, so this is, I will put it separately. Guys, again, what is our main power supply? AC power supply, not a DC power supply. Not DC power supply. We need to convert from AC to DC, we are using SMPS. What is SMPS? More power supply. Okay, switch mode power supply. So this is a main ATX power connector, 24 pin connector, which is used to connect from SMPS to your motherboard. Okay, of course, you are having a mobile phone or a laptop, you have a charger is there, the charger is convert AC to DC. Okay, it uses SMPS type technology only. Yeah, that is enough for today. Tomorrow, guys, compulsory we'll see about a storage, like about hard disk and SSDs differences. That is also questions also there. SSD and hard disk differences, and what is MBR GPT and partitions. Partitions I will try to show you practical also if possible. Partitions and boot processing also I will try to tell. Okay, tomorrow I will cover this thing. That's it for today, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
It's